Yeah, Sharice's right there. If you can,
Right.
thank you.
Welcome to the Rotary Club of Raleigh. Our August 26th meeting. We're starting right on time because we have a lot of business going on. And we have a fantastic speaker and a lot of people here. So just everything's terrific. So to start things off, we'll have Tommy come up for our invocation and pledge. And for those who are not familiar with this, veterans are welcome to either salute or place your hand on your heart or use the pledge. And here's Tommy's invocation and pledge.
Thank you. We appreciate everybody being here. Glad to see all your faces. You can bow your heads, we will say an invocation and we'll stand for our pledge. Father, thank you for gathering us all together for the work that Rotary does all over the world, but also right here in our community. We thank you for specifically the service projects that this club does that prepare kids to go back to school, and women to be moms, dads to be dads. We love that we get an opportunity to go shoulder to shoulder and get out in the world, and make a difference. We love that our numbers make us bigger in the community than if we had served individually. Thank you for this food, for this gathering of people, and for everything that we're going to learn here today. Amen.
Amen.
Could you please rise? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Five countries,
We land of the United States. The land of the pilgrims find from every mountainside, freedom free. That spells Rotary.
you guys did a good job.
All right. Great crowd around. Looking at you. We have a lot of wonderful visitors. I met some of you, but Carrie is going to go ahead, Carrie Suffer is going to go ahead and introduce all of our visitors. We'll give her a call, how they will be to introduce themselves. Carrie?
Thank you, President Eric. Like Dad said, President Eric said, we have a lot of visitors and we have a jam-packed schedule. So what I'm gonna do is start at this table. We're gonna pass the microphone down. If you are a guest, you're not a Raleigh Rotarian, please stand up, briefly tell us who you are, what you do with your time, and what brought you to Rotary today. So we're gonna start here, go over to the middle, go up, and then over to the side, and go down. And I'll pick up the microphone and keep going at the back of that table. All right, Mr. Richard.
Okay, a stranger to none, but introduce you to some. This is my son Malcolm. We start the 4th grade tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm so creative. I'm looking to Rotary teacher today. This is my mom.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Brown. I'm here to Shelby Box. You'll hear from me a little bit. And by the way, Audrey is awesome.
Eric, see that you're gonna. Oh, no, you can pass it. I just said you, yeah. Very good.
I'm Audrey from Bradford Rotary. Happy to be here today.
Hi, my name is Abby Fralix. I am the Development Director at Burning Coal Heater and here are the guests of the Blizzard. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessie Little, and I'm a visiting Rotarian from Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm also an actress and a singer, and I'm here in Raleigh working with Theater Raleigh on Bull Durham the musical.
I'm Erin Edwards, the owner of the law
also Erin Baker Edgar. I'm going to take the headache out of estate planning, estate administration. I believe that Karen is preparing, and preparing for death should be a process, not an emergency. I have a guest here today, invited by Sue Keith, who is sitting across from me. I look forward to meeting again. I'm very interested in Rotary. I'm also a classically trained singer, bird watcher, happily married, no children.
Well, I was wondering where the beautiful voices were coming from these days. All right, John, please have a few guests.
Yes, I have a couple of guests here. First, my wife Jennifer. And then our exchange students here, she'll be telling more about herself a little later. Atisha from the
My name is Faith Payne, guest of Brandy. I am operations manager over Active United. They're a brand consultant firm. We do the full gamut from research to writing to post-award management, so you don't have to deal with all the silly forms after you get free money.
Yeah.
We do this for profits and nonprofits.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Hugh McLean with the Boys and Girls Clubs. And I'm here to see a special ceremony a little bit later this week. She's a member of our Boys and Girls Club.
Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Whitfield. I'm with the Wake Forest Rotary Club. I'm also the chairman of the district youth exchange committee. So I'll be up front with you as well.
All right. Guest over here, the speaker. I'm not a speaker, I'm with the speaker. I'm Veronica Galsworth. I'm an executive communication strategist and a lead age marketing officer, and that's the people that I serve. That's my name. Please, Tommy has a very special guest.
I've got a junior salesman with me. This is my son Finn. He didn't ask me to buy a ticket. Well, I want to get one, but Finn doesn't start school till tomorrow, so he's here. But based on the results of today's raffle, we may hold him out from time to time.
Welcome, guest. All right, you guys over there.
All right, thank you, Gary. And it's good to see you all.
Yeah.
Thank you for that here. Returning from the mountains, because it's got cold here. So, anyway, great to see you, Governor. All right, so we have some announcements, and we're going to start with the new generations group this time. Shakina, if you want to come up and introduce the folks that will be participating in. And to make things go smoothly with Johnny Field, Sabrina, some Keys, and Alicia all come up and be ready for when that moment comes. Here's Jake, our head of new generation.
Hello, everybody. My name is Shakina McLean. I'm gonna make this real brief. I'm just gonna introduce my initiatives that I have here today. We have our inbound and outbound students, our exchange students. So Johnny, can you please come to the And then we have John Kate, who will introduce it, our inbound student, Patricia. And y'all are on that.
Hello, everybody. I appreciate the time. I know you all have a lot to do today, and I don't want to take up an inordinate amount of time, but I do want to take enough time to say thank you to every one of you for your willingness to sponsor the Brains Exchange, and also the TCF. This is going to be a great year for you all. We're really going to enjoy this experience. So, Sabrina, I will ask you your audio. Awesome. President Eric, I have a job for you. The Rotary Youth Exchange uniform is a blank. And there is Sabrina's uniform. I'll ask President Eric, if you'll take that and put that on Bring it for me. All right,
Yeah.
you're official. Okay, now, we would be good Rotarians if we just gave her a blazer and told her to go sit back down. You know, good Rotarians have all kinds of stuff, right? And we have all kinds of stuff. Let me hear it. Ask you for that. Thank you. Thank you. And we're gonna kind of see what's in the bag here for Miss Green. Let's see. Ah, got a flag from Italy. So you can share that with everybody. Let's see. We got youth exchange friendship pins. There you go. So you'll trade that with other students. And soon your jacket's gonna look like Ethiopian over here. There you go. Let's see. I got a little, what do you call these things? Water bottle. Got your name on it, so yeah, there you go. Got your name on it, Rotary Youth Exchange, so you don't forget it. Everybody try to take it from you. All right, let's see, what else? Oh, I got more exchange pins, very good. And by the way, these are specially made for our district, so they have the North Carolina flag on them, the cardinal, and the dogwood flag. So they're representative of our state. Let's see, I got more stuff in here, man. All right, we got business cards. So you can find your way home. Okay? Let's see. I got more friendship pins. Excellent. Okay. Let's see. I got a name tag, so you don't forget who you are. Okay? All right, let's see if I got anything else. I got more friendship pins. Let's see. Man, there's just a lot of stuff in here. All right, I got the American flag. You'll want to use that from time to time too. Let's see if I got anything else. I got more friendship today. You're gonna have so many friends before you get home, you just aren't gonna know what to do with them all. Let's see. And I have a Rotary Youth Exchange t-shirt. I unpacked all these things. So help me. If that thing fits you, it'll stop me. I don't know how you guys are clothing so small. All right, let's see. Last but not least, more friendship. Yeah. All right. So you're gonna have.
Okay, John. Come on.
Okay, I'm, my wife and I, Jennifer, come on too. We're so happy to introduce to you our guest for this year from Brazil, Leticia LaGuardia. Now, Leticia is from family of Rotarians, and I'm not going to take the pleasure of telling you all about how Leticia tell you a little bit about her Brazil home and her Rotary family and what they do in Rotary and
Hello, everyone. My name is Leticia LaGuardia. I'm from Brazil. I'm 17 years old. And my family has been with Rotary for a long time. And it all started with my great-grandparents in 1964. Urias Barbosa de Castro and Suria Vitar de Castro. And they all started to participate in Rotary, and they even created projects like the Rotary School that includes now 278 children, and they all started our family when our family is starting to be so involved in Rotary and starting to make friendship to take leadership roles. And I will just like summarize a little bit. Can you come back this slide? Thank you. So leadership across generations. We have in 1984, my grandfather became president, Mauricio Dani, and led the creation of Rotary School. In 1989, Mauricio Dani started. And in 92, Haddad started to be president of Rotary. And then in 2020, he became a district governor. Now you can please. And then we have many other family generations, like in 1995, Marcos Aurelio Ferreira and my aunt, Maria das Mercedes. In 1999, Gisele Rocha Pereira, and he's my lady cousin, and later he became a district governor in 2006. In 2004, my uncle, Osvaldo Fernandes Pereira Jr. and Maria da Glória became presidents. And in 2015, Maria Amélia de Castro, and she was the first woman in our Rotary Club to become a president. And the latest is my grandmother, that is Maria das Graças, that she became president in 2022. And it's just a really big legacy, and they are all really inspiring, and I'm really proud of them. And I think that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them, because they really encouraged me. And yeah, thank you.
It's easy to ask something for you.
Yeah, it's a trading flag for our Rotary system.
Thank you. Hey, please, I'm sorry.
Okay, one last thing, thank you everybody that came up here to present the exchange program. Real briefly, we just completed the Packapalooza this year. Okay, they did their thing also, and I want to appreciate all the participants that did help out and coming out and show out. Thank you.
Hey, I'm really getting jacked up on fundraising. I've had some incredible meetings and we've got some really good energy behind the gala that's gonna happen on March the 8th. In that regard, the fundraising committee will meet here on September the 9th before our September 9th meeting. If you want to participate, that's great. I have a request. I would love to have a co-chair for fundraising or a co-chair for the gala. If you want to have a big time and a lot of fun and help me out, sign up.
Great, John has some really good plans. He's getting at some of the movement that have not still been, I'm really looking forward to a fantastic event. And relative to the new generations folks, both our incoming and outgoing exchange students, as well as the students from NC State, it reminds me of a saying I heard recently. It said, young people are a gift to us from the future. And we saw some of those gifts today. So with that, I'll turn it over to the membership and John.
Thank you, President Eric. We have just a couple things to go through today. The first one, since Mr. Charles Bailey is here, he's going to be in our first induction into the Rotary Club that is not a transfer. Of course, we have it's here. So first things first, Charles' membership application has been reviewed and approved in accordance with our club's constitution and bylaws. We will now proceed in admitting you to membership in the Rotary Club of Raleigh and the friendship of Rotary throughout the world. So we have 3 questions for you. Question number 1.
Charles, will you join us as we strive to live a life of service above self?
Yes. Will you join us in our activities, for service projects and fundraising activities in support of our community? Yes.
And question number 3, will you join us in supporting Rotary's efforts worldwide, which focus on these 7 areas? Promoting peace, disease prevention, providing clean water and sanitation, maternal and child health, basic education and literacy, economic and community development, and protecting the environment.
Yes.
And fellow Rotarians, will you join me in fostering and supporting Charles as he joins us in the pursuit of adding value to our community through service above self?
Yeah.
Now, David, please. And pin this on, and as we will all get together, and it was my pleasure to welcome you to the membership in the Rotary Club of Raleigh. Will you all please stand? Step forward. Now, of course, you were approved by the members of the board, as well as active membership into the Rotary Club of Raleigh. And, you expressed your willingness to become a Rotarian at your induction ceremony and pledged to abide by the principles, responsibilities, and obligations of Rotary in your personal and professional life. Upon your induction, you receive the red badge, and are accomplishing the requirements established by the club to receive your blue badge. Well, this included, of course, member orientation, participating in service club projects, and then club board meeting, among other things. Of course, if you guys are not doing this towards the veteran party, you have your blue badge. We want you to all still take part in this, because we all do this together, so we'd love for all of you to still come out and participate in these. But of course, congratulations on successfully completed all of those requirements. We have your sponsor Charlie here to officially give you your blue badge. Again, congratulations. Here on Wednesday. Next month, would love to again have it at Rotarian's place of business. If you guys are interested in hosting a Rotary social at your place of business, or even have a great local place that you want to hold it, please come speak with me. Love to hear your ideas. And I think that's the last bit. Oh, of course, being a mentor. We do have a great group of 5 folks. If there's anybody else out there that's interested in becoming a mentor, again, I'll be out here for a few minutes after the meeting. Please, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, folks. Richard Avery, your service chair. So report on our project. August project was completed Saturday. Pamela, Amy, and was friend Ann and myself went to No Woman, No Girl and sorted 1,496 items that were gathered by this club. Yeah, I collected some items over the weekend, and Jennifer's got some products for me as well. So we achieved our 2,000 item goal of collecting for No Woman, No Girl. Big round of applause. A wonderful time. Now, for our September service project, we have partnered with the North Carolina Victims Crimes Organization. They have a memorial garden downtown, and we have volunteered in our club for a beautification process the last Saturday in September, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now, some of you in our club have a green thumb, we're going to be leaning on you. There are others who don't. So, but if anyone involved, it's a family-friendly event with no gardening experience. This is a big event, folks. They're looking for about 28 people for this project. So this is a wonderful project. It's right in our backyard, literally. From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'll have a link go out later this week. Thank you for your support. Thank you. And I would be remiss if I didn't say to all our local visitors here today, before you leave, make sure you say hello to John Luke, our membership chair. He would be over there by the door. Make sure you say hello to him. He'd be very happy to meet you. Jason, you can come on up if you would, please. So, one of the long-term relationships Rotary has is with an organization called Shelter Box. And Jason will tell you a little bit about what they do. I'm thrilled to have Jason here. I mentioned it earlier. I heard him speak in Greensboro. He is what's called a 21st century influencer and media expert and whatnot. He influenced the Rotary. Was it the pump? Is that the one we were doing up there? I forget. But anyways, a great representative of Shelter Box today. So Jason Brown.
What's going on, everybody? Hi, everybody. All right, I'm gonna drop this off. This is the Shelter Box solar light on the table. This, you can pass this around. Let's start it here. You can pass it around. How many people have been to the International Rotary Convention? Show of hands. Some of you. So back in 2022, I was the host for 4 days in Houston, 11,000 people from around the world. And I was the guy on stage hosting the Rotary International Convention. And one of the, by the way, you should all go to Canada next year. It's fantastic. One of the groups that I fell in love with, Shelter Box. So the past president, past club president. And Shelter Box is a group that you all may know about. Let me tell you a little story to set the tone. One of the folks on behalf of Shelter Box, they go to disaster scenarios. They go to different places around the world where disaster happens. One of those was in Peru, along the Amazon River, huge flood. And there was a community out in the jungle, really deep in the jungle. The government forgot about them. Nobody was providing aid. The Shelter Box was a group. This one guy named Bruce went out to this one community. When they went out to this one community, their houses were filled up with water. Imagine like it's up to here. And they're still living in their houses. This is the only shelter they had. And then they made like little tiny shelves to sleep on top of inside of their own house because there's no shelter. Shelter Boxes that really came in. They not only provided tents, shelter, they provided cooking supplies for folks who needed cooking supplies. And at one point, while putting up tents, Bruce, the guy that's hands-on working with this community, when you're putting up the tent, you have to like put things on the top of the tent. So one of the little girls comes up and she's just following around. And so he puts them on her shoulders. She's the one placing the stuff on the roof to make sure these tents are in place. By the time they were done, hundreds of tents were put into place, hundreds of people were provided for. And by the time they left, these are like ex-military guys who you walk and be like, oh, okay. So okay. These guys know what it's like to be in a tough scenario. But as they were walking away from this, because they were actually able to provide help, it's the first time that none of them spoke as they walked a kilometer back to where their boats were. They still had a 2-hour run back to where they needed to go because they were all in tears because this was a scenario that the government couldn't help, all other organizations couldn't help. But Shelter Boxes help, along with Rotary, they were able to provide shelter for the folks that are there. That's what Shelter Box does. That's why I fell in love with what they do. And that's why I'm on a journey across the country. I'm gonna wrap this up in about 3 to 4 minutes. On a journey across the country. I started off in Raleigh, Rotary, and I'm traveling all the way to Oregon to speak about Shelter Box. Audrey, where's Audrey? Right there. Audrey from the Craft Street Club. Can we get a round of applause for Audrey? We had an event down in Moore Square yesterday. We invited the public out. We had news crews come out, and we got to talk and speak and discuss how important shelter is. It was beautiful to see all the Rotarians came out and did a wonderful job. Oh, I must say also, the Crab Street Club, they donated $1,000 to Shelter as a result of this project. Now, I'm not going to say it's a competition between clubs, but if it was a competition between clubs, Crab Street's winning right now in Raleigh, North Carolina, as far as donations go. So my goal over the next 2 weeks is to raise $11,400, $100 for each million people without shelter around the globe. That's why I'm traveling across the country. Couple of quick points. One other thing that I do want to know. Yesterday, while I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, it was hard because we were a tent set up, a lot of things going on, talking about shelter globally. And a lot of people in town came up and said, hey, is this for us? Can my family get one of these tents? And I had to tell them, no, this is not for individuals in the United States and on a one-on-one basis. But I had been disservice to not communicate the desires of dozens of people who came up to us and was like, I would love this in Raleigh, if there could be something here. So reach out to me if you ever want to connect and do something in Raleigh. I'm gonna put up 2 QR codes over on that side next to the checkout. One of them is going to be about more following projects. One of them is going to be to donate. I would love you to donate to Shelter Box. I have little hints to ask me any questions, and all this is over. And thank you very much.
This is a fantastic program and a great advocate for them in you, going across the country. We are the kickoff club for this initiative. So we're going to go ahead and roll into our wrap now with Tommy and his assistant, Ben. So go ahead.
I was just a little bit older than this when my dad joined Rotary, and I got to go to things with him. Including we have our very own Brazilian foreign exchange student who came to live with us. And her first night, we thought it would be special. We took her to dinner on the boat. She explained that it was extremely memorable because the boat sank. All right, grab a sweater. True story. Hope your time is good. Grab one, just one. All right, let's see. We have 800-3555.
I think you said that wrong.
All right, hold on, let's try that. 800-3355. There we go.
Hey, I think way to go. So those are not familiar with half money goes to the club foundation, and half money goes to the winner. So we have birthdays at the university. We are not meeting next week. So we have next birthday. We have Randy Mouse, Kathy Stewart, Reagan Weaver, Tiffany, Michael, and Eric Stevens having birthdays coming up. And then anniversaries. Mark and Sylvia Hackett. Mark is usually loyally on Zoom. So hello, Mark. Kirk and Diane Warner, Sean and Dick Sinclair, and Ned and Larry Lee. So happy birthday and happy anniversary. Our upcoming meetings are, we're not going to have any meeting on Labor Day. And then Professor Sim Sitkin from Duke University's Future School of Business is going to talk about leadership. He's a great speaker. We're going to have Tony Bryce from NASA talking to us about the Deep Space Network. Then we have the president of Wake Tech coming to speak to us. Richard Avery, who you just saw, is going to give a really great program on the American Cancer Society. He manages the Eastern and Central North Carolina pieces of that. So we're going to skip our Happy Dollars and our Red Bucket today. We'll just skip the Red Bucket. Go ahead and put these in there for the Convention Alliance of North Carolina. But we have a guest speaker, and Patty will come to do the introduction. As I told you, we're going to have some business leaders speaking this year, and we have an outstanding business leader with us today. Patty.
Thank you, President Eric. I think this community is blessed with some amazing businesses. There are some iconic businesses amongst us, and I think Red Hat is one of those. Iconic because simply can't come into the city without seeing a building with a big sign on the side, which says Red Hat. We all know about the Red Hat here, and the work they do is innovative in terms of the work they have done, created a new and form of communication. We're very, very pleased today to have Leigh with us. Leigh is the Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer for Red Hat. She's now worked with them for some 25 years. Interesting enough, they now have thousands of employees, but Leigh is employee number 139, which means that she's been with them for quite a while, as you can see, and has done so much for them. Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer. She's been innovative in a number of programs that she has helped start. And their particular event, which I watched last year, Leigh, you have given customers and associates, these spoke there, and she has done on a regular basis. So very, very pleased. Welcome today, Leigh. Would you give her a warm Rotary welcome?
And I would say that, Patty has an amazing daughter that she works on the marketing team at Red Hat. She's an amazing motion design producer and is one of the main pillars of our Red Hat business. So thank you, Patty, for raising such an amazing daughter. All right, so just a little fun fact before I get started. I was looking at Google Maps, trying to figure out where Tobacco Road is, which I should know because I've lived in Raleigh more than 30 years. And turns out I had my rehearsal dinner here, right up there. And today's our 24th wedding anniversary. So, introduction, I adore Red Hat, so I bleed red, I drink the red Kool-Aid, all of the things. So I look forward to your questions after. Oops, I did the wrong thing. Here we go. So Red Hat is the world's leading provider of open source software. And I'll get into what that is in a little bit, but we do sell open source subscriptions to the enterprise. And we also offer a lot of training and consulting services to very large customers. But we are definitely building bridges between community and enterprise and software builders. We are not a typical software company, and that what we do build and create as code is freely available to all. But what we do is add modifications, make it enterprise ready, and safe for everyone to use around. All right, so we are a bit of a David and Goliath story. Many, many years ago, Red Hat started, they were a big competitor in the market was called Unix. And Unix was in all of the big banks and did all the back-end transactions. And Red Hat emerged as Linux, the competitor to Unix. And so this tiny little company was off on a mission to try to beat out Sun Microsystems and all these big Unix companies. And many said we couldn't do it. But the thing about being a mission-based company is you believe in your mission, you go for it. And I think we've succeeded over the years in that in many regards, not just Linux. How we got our name. So I had the pleasure of knowing our co-founder. His name was Mark Ewing. And he basically created Linux on the campus of Carnegie Mellon. And he ran around in his grandpa's red lacrosse hat. And this was the techiest guy on campus. So anyone that needed help said, you know, the guy with the red hat, he's one to go to. He carried around a floppy disk in a baggie. And that's how he got our start. And this is us today. So more than 90% of the Fortune 500 rely on Red Hat. We have about 20,000, 22,000 employees globally. And we have 105 offices around the world. We're very spread out. We work with everyone. And we are the first $3 billion open source. And this is a little bit about our timeline. So founded in 93, we had an IPO in 99. Sadly, I joined only 5 days after. So we've had a very acquisitive history. We had started, as I said, a Linux company in 2008. We acquired JBoss, which is middleware, and then we got into storage, containers, and other open source technologies. We were purchased by IBM. Let's see, am I going to get my date right? 2019, and we are very neutral with them, which means we have different partners like Google and Microsoft, and they want to make sure that Red Hat protects its partnerships, that people want to do business with Red Hat and not just do business with IBM. So that's been a very healthy thing. And this is definitely a big brag slide. So 100% of these industries rely on Red Hat. So airlines, executive departments, US telecommunications, and banks. So we are powering a lot of really important things. You probably wouldn't purchase a Red Hat in your daily lives, but I'm sure in this next slide, you'll see a lot of companies that you transact with on a daily basis. You are coming into contact with our technology and a lot of things that you do, from transactions with your credit cards and financial institutions, to any call you make with Verizon. We power that 5G network. We are in all the planes and trains around the world. And then lastly, we're helping in a lot of important healthcare cases to solve, cure, and diagnose issues. Most recently, I had the pleasure of speaking with Boston Children's Hospital, and they are using Red Hat and artificial intelligence to help diagnose issues in utero, and really solving people's lives with that, and we're helping people's lives with that. It's pretty remarkable. So we are different because of our culture. And about 7 or 8 years ago, we wrote a book called The Open Organization. And I think how we are different, and I'm sure you all have many different corporate experiences. And at Red Hat, we believe that every voice should be heard. We believe in the values of freedom, courage, commitment, and accountability. And every employee lives up to that. We have very open lines of communication. Sometimes that can be a bit scary, but you are free to email anyone in the company with any issue, with any problem, and some smart person is going to get back to you. There are constant debates, and we think that this makes our company better. We think it makes our software better, and it's just really an important aspect of our culture. Very, very open, very transparent. And then a little bit about open source. So I talked a little bit about this in the beginning. But we develop code, we work with communities that develop code, and everyone puts their code out in the open, and you modify it and you put it back in the community so it can keep building and growing and getting better. And then companies like ours sell subscriptions based on that open source code. And again, we make sure that this open source code that might have flaws, might not be so secure, might not be getting updated as regularly as it could be, has more of an assurance policy for our customers so that they can rely on it. And we sell subscriptions so that customers have the option to renew with us every year. And if we're not doing a good job, they don't. And then like at Red Hat, it's just, again, an amazing, open, transparent place to work. We have very brilliant people all over the company in all of our departments around the world. And as I said also in the beginning, we are mission-based, and we believe that we will win. Right now, we want to win in virtualization. We want to win in artificial intelligence. And we have been a disruptor in technology, so we fully believe we're going to do it again. And these are some more things that we're proud of. We have won some awards. We are considered a great place to work. We are big in diversity, and we have 9 communities that we nurture and care for within the Red Hat environment. We do promote flex working, although I would like to see more people in our lovely offices downtown. And we work on an open decision framework, which means not everything is up for a vote. But we are going to make big decisions in the company. We bring a lot of people in to talk about that before the decision is made. Nothing is a surprise. We celebrate our culture. We have something we call Red Hat Week. We have different films and assets and things that we put out to celebrate our brand. And then we have several training and development programs. We really believe in career growth at Red Hat. We have a wonderful internship program and early work programs as well. And that's really it. So thank you for having me. It's a real honor to be in front of you, tell you a little bit about Red Hat. We are downtown there on Davie Street. We have been there for I think going on 8 years. Before that, we were on Centennial campus, and we are headquartered here at Raleigh. Now I do. Yeah, I mean, shockingly, I didn't at the tender age I started. So I have held many roles at Red Hat. When I first came in, I was doing sales, and I was selling our digital property, our website, because at that time we were selling a box product on the shelves of Talk USA and Fry's, and we were really worried about our revenue streams and not being able to maintain it with that sales product. So I did sales. Then I got into partner marketing. It was really important for partners like Oracle and HP and IBM and Dell to all certify our software so that their customers would use our software.
I did that for a bit, and then I got more into my first love before Red Hat was in PR. And so I got more into that and events, kind of like a Rolling Stone gathering loss in the marketing department, just all the things. I think one of the things I'm most proud about is, I was able to create our own in-house design agency. We don't use outside agencies. We feel like it's more authentic to have our own designers, motion designers to build our brand, to do our ad. And yeah, so now I spend a lot of my time with sales, talking about pipeline. But yes, I've had the pleasure of seeing a lot during these years and having a lot of different experiences. Yes.
In your organization, you communicated like there's really great communication to the staff. You have a lot of partners and you really collaborate along the way. So what is your suggestion that you would give to a service organization such as this awesome Rotary Club that's here, for somebody who's seen that successfully done in the industry?
That's a big question. I think just when we talk about open communications also means asking for help. So for instance, if you're working, I've been part of many nonprofit boards, and I feel like a lot of times, for instance, people in fundraising feel like they're on an island and they don't have the support of others in the organization. You should always ask for help, and also maybe sometimes people don't know how to help. And just bring them into your space, let them know what the challenges are, let them know what maybe they can personally do to help. But just to keep everyone talking and being educated about the challenges at hand. And or for instance, people on a governance committee, that might be something completely foreign to someone that I think could be working on event marketing. Helping that person understand the importance of governance and the impact it can have and the planning and future of that organization is important. So I guess just cross-pollination, getting around to everyone, making sure everyone understands your role so they care about your role is, I think, as part of our secret to success at Red Hat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you explain maybe this to me, but open source technology, if it's out there for anybody else to use it, edit it, whatnot, what's to prevent a competitor stealing it and having to make money in that environment?
That's a great question. Anyone can steal it. But they can't steal ours because first of all, ours has specific enhancements to make it appropriate for the enterprise. So Linux, as it originated, was used in a hobbyist type of setting. So people would tinker with it, code, develop. It was interesting to write code. Anyone can steal that and put a brand on it and say, give it a price tag. But I think what makes it also important is that I mentioned the partnerships. Red Hat works extremely closely with Intel, Dell, NVIDIA, you name it. We have hundreds and hundreds of partners that certify their hardware or software with our Linux, which makes it different. It's differentiated because of those certifications. It's differentiated because of the security certifications that we get. We have the US government requires a name level of security, and we add those to our software. That's what makes it sellable. So we take the core, the source, it's called the source code. We take the source code, we add on enterprise enhancements, and that's what makes it ours. But anyone can, there are many derivatives out in the marketplace, and so anyone can steal it. So we have to show the value that we deliver to customers every day, but they can go elsewhere.
So speaking of competitors, is Unix still around? I don't hear much. Okay, that's what I thought. Repeat the question.
He asked if Unix is still around.
Oh.
And it's not.
So in the past, I dealt with both issues of large and blood tests and everything, and I got so frustrated because I was very soft. It results were here and here on multiple different platforms. And I finally just talked to these in chat. And that gave me like that summary of everything. Because Linux working, the Red Hat working on anything to help consolidate patients' medical results into one space where doctors can do different doctors.
Yes, so the example that I brought up about Boston Children's Hospital is an example of that. It's one of our more forward-looking examples, but we do have other health systems around the world that have used our software to coalesce COVID data, vaccination data, just general health data. So yes, but Boston Children's Hospital, you think about how a fetus moves in utero, they're constantly in action. And so if you think about a doctor looking at all these images, it would take hours and months and years to diagnose a problem. So that's how they're using AI to be able to look at more images and make diagnoses or assist with diagnoses at once instead of over time. I hope that answers your question. But yeah, we are working with different government agencies to try to simplify and to standardize, which is a big issue.
Now, you gotta follow up and see all of that data, like, is there?
No. We are not in the data business. But we secure your data. Yes.
I have one. Your slide mentions airlines as being a major client, and you also had Simple Airport up there. So I wonder if the last few years, how the chaos in that industry has affected you as the, I don't know, I would love to understand how that's affected you.
Well, it's always, we always think about karma. So who was that last outage? What was it with Delta or no, what?
Southwest?
No, it wasn't Southwest. It was American.
Delta?
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, I think it was Delta, but the first thing we all do is look to see if that's our software. And it wasn't. So, but you don't want to be like, oh, they were using that platform, that's why they had an outage, because be careful, karma will come back to you. But we are very secure. We talk about 5 nines of uptime, so we want to be able to guarantee 99.999% uptime and reliability with banks, with like Net Horizon, for instance, airlines. All those are mission critical. All of the business that we do, not all of it, but much of the business we do powers mission critical business. So making sure that we have that reliability, and that's why our support models, we have technical account managers that look after our customers. We're constantly putting out fixes to code, hourly, daily, so that we can guarantee that kind of reliability. But no one wants to see an outage, not even if it's your competitor. Yes.
Earlier, you spoke about the importance of diversity in Red Hat culture, and you identified, spoke of 9 different groups that you support. Could you elaborate on that a little bit and perhaps give this awesome Rotary Club a tip on how a service organization can support diversity in its own growth and leadership?
Yeah, so first, diversity is incredibly important. We want all the different perspectives. It makes our culture better, our social fabric better, it makes our products better, it makes customers more successful. So we have a Build community, which is the Black community, we have Native American, we have veterans, we have an Asian network, we have a women's network, we have a neurodiversity network. And I'm a sponsor of the veterans community currently. And we just look after them and make sure that their voices can be heard, that it's more than just a happy hour that we're doing, that we have a lot of service projects that we do within each community. And people are very involved, and we like to have these sub-communities within our larger community. But we love to celebrate all of the different voices and points of views around the company. And again, extremely important to our health, our social fabric. And part of it, when I said we want every voice to be heard, is so critically important that every point of view be heard and recognized as well. And I would just say, in a service organization, just recognizing that more diversity is just better. That's all. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
How does Red Hat involve,
well, I like to think they purchased us because of our amazing brand from a marketing standpoint, just kidding. But yeah, we're a big part of their software portfolio. So if you look at the parts of their portfolio that they have and what we have, if you think about a Venn diagram, we're kind of the sweet spot in the center. So they sell different products that run on top of our operating system. There are things that they do well, And then there are things that we do also. That's how they see it. I mean, and again, like I said, they really treat us, not as a fully integrated company. We still have our own brand. When we're together, for instance, at events, we're still separate because they recognize the importance of Red Hat having its own partner community and the fact that we have our own customers in some cases. But when we were first looking at the acquisition, we looked at areas of overlap and areas of synergy. And there are more areas of synergy for sure. And our salespeople do work together, but it's either on blue paper or red paper, not really ever together. And I know that sounds complicated and it's hard to explain, but it's a complicated way of doing business, but it's working. And it's been, 5 years now. So far so good. What was that? Yes, they do. Does IBM still sell business machines was the question. They are still very heavily in the mainframe business, which you wouldn't expect in this day and age. But we talk at Red Hat a lot about cloud computing. Some customers will never be on the cloud because of regulations, because of trust issues. They don't want their data in the cloud, so they still have mainframes.
Yeah, mainframe, and I don't know if there's no cloud yet, weather model, they're all run on your platform, right?
Yes, in fact, the Weather Channel was owned by IBM and they just sold it. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that obviously the team.
Yes. Well, we're really gentle at Red Hat. So as you probably read in the news, there are lots of mandates and that makes employees bristle. We want to give our employees the choice, but we are giving guidelines, not setting policy. So our guideline is that we would like to see people in the office 10 days a month, which I feel is very doable for us. We have great snacks, great drinks. I go in 4 days a week. But I just think there's nothing that replaces human interaction. You can't have a crucial conversation on a video screen. I mean, it's good when I talk about people with points of views in other communities and other departments and that kind of cross-pollination. You do that in a cafe, you do that in a hallway, you do that in person. It's really hard to just schedule a video conference call to get to know someone. So I just think it really does improve the quality of work back together. But it's a hard mindset to shift. People have moved to different places. They have established their routines and so shifting that. Thank you.
Yeah, just go to.
Okay, you want to get it? So you heard about Linux. You say, oh, that's that computer stuff. Well, if you have a DVR in your car, you're a Linux user. If you have a car with a display screen in it, you're a Linux user. I like to tell people, if you fly on everything, pay taxes, or use a bank, you're a Red Hat student. So next time you drive by that building, think about that. That's part of the community, and that's part of what we do here. And so for all the busy work you do, and we have our with our appreciation for being a speaker here today, and you're welcome here at any time, as well as any Red Hat person. We are the business leaders and civic leaders of Raleigh, and you're certainly important. Thank you very much for coming. And Rotarians, would please rise for fantastic for me with that. Of the things we think and say and do.
The parents will it build goodwill and friendships, be beneficial to all concerned.
Thank you.